Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, we're going to talk all about creating gift card holders inside cards. This time of year, everything starts to get a little hectic, and sometimes the quickest, easiest, and best gift is a gift card. So I'm going to show you several different ways with dies that you can create these gift card holders. So let's dive right into the first gift card holder. First, I'm going to use a brand new die set from Art Impressions to make a standalone gift card holder that is decorated like a snowman. This original die set is their gift card holders die, and you can see it will cut out a basic envelope and has some additional accessory dies to create tags and shapes. But the real magic happens when you get the new snowman gift card holder accessories dies, which has a bunch of tiny dies and instructions on how to turn their basic gift card holder into an adorable snowman. I'm going to use some Therm O Web iCraft Easy-Cut Adhesive, which is a thin double-sided adhesive, by peeling off one protective layer of the adhesive and laying it on some black cardstock, then replacing the protective layer and trimming off the excess. This thin adhesive will go through my die cut machine with the tiniest dies, so I don't need to try to apply adhesive to the back of them. Makes it really easy to adhere the snowman's buttons as well as his smile. The cheeks I cut out of pink cardstock, and those were large enough to use tape runner behind them. So was the carrot nose, which I cut out of orange cardstock. When it came to those eyes, the little strip of cardstock with Easy Cut was stuck in the die, so I placed the die down on the part of the face that I wanted the eyes, and the eye stayed stuck down when I removed the die. I put a thin line of tape runner on the top of his head and adhered a hat brim. This would have looked cute cut out of felt, but I didn't think of it at the time. After cutting and adhering the second button, I started putting the envelope together. It's super easy because everything is cut and scored and all in one piece. So I just fold in those flaps and fold up the bottom piece, and then the triangle top is the envelope flap. So I added some tape runner to those scored folded in flaps and closed up the bottom to adhere it all together. The piece that cuts the hat brim can be flipped over to create a scarf too, so I used a striped piece of pattern paper for that. You can cut one or two of the scarf pieces to create the knotted ends of the scarf as well. You just have to slightly off-center each of them so that you can see a bit of both. Then flip the snowman over and add some tape runner and put him on the front of the envelope. Now you can see that the envelope triangular flap sticking up is what creates his hat. So grab the large circular die cut pom-pom and adhere that to the top of the hat. Then, when you close the flap, you can tuck the pom-pom into the opening on the back to keep the envelope closed, and when it's open, it looks like he has a pom-pom hat on, which I think is an absolute brilliant die design. Last, I adhered his little twig arms, which I cut out of brown cardstock. It would have been cute to cut another small white circle and adhere it in one of his hands to make him have a snowball, but I didn't think of that at the time either. A standard-sized gift card slides right inside the envelope, and the little hat envelope flap works perfectly. I seriously love this adorable die design. I know they have other gift card holder accessory sets as well, but this one just stole my heart. This time, I'm going to use the Waffle Flower coffee cup die to create a coffee cup shaped gift card holder. This die is perfect for giving someone a gift card to their favorite coffee or tea shop, and especially around the holidays when everybody has those fun holiday themed cups, it can be really fun to make your own. These are the two main dies in the set. The left die cuts the slider, and the right hand die cuts the cup-shaped insert that has flaps for holding the gift card. I'm going to cut both out of a piece of Waffle Flower pattern paper, which is great for these types of projects, since it's 5.5 and 8.5, not just 6 by 6. I'm using a piece of J.J. Bolton's Christmas stripes. Here you can see the two flaps cut into the insert die cut that will hold the gift card in place. The other die is actually meant to hang off of a folded piece of cardstock to create an enclosed envelope. But since I'm adhering this onto an A2 card, I'm just cutting the bottom right off. This piece has score lines on each side, and all you need to do is fold them back, and then you can see that the coffee cup insert slides right inside. There's an accessory die for this set that cuts out a lid, so I cut mine out of white cardstock to mimic the look of the white plastic lid. Then I placed some tape runner on the scored flaps and adhered this piece onto a piece of silver foil cardstock. To create a coffee sleeve, I'm going to cut another piece of the slider out of Kraft cardstock. This time, I'm going to hang the die off the bottom because I know I only need the center part of this die cut. I'm going to trim off the scored flaps on both sides and trim the top and the bottom, since the coffee sleeve really goes around the middle of the cup. Next, I'm going to use a paper crimper, which is a really old tool I had back in my scrapbooking days. If you've never seen one of these things in action, you just insert the sleeve or piece of paper on one end where the arrows are, and then squeeze the two handles together. While squeezing, you rotate this side mechanism here, and it rotates the crimpers and spits out the paper at the other end. This gives your plain craft paper a corrugated cardboard look without any extra bulk. I adhered the sleeve to the center of the cup and then got to work decorating the rest of the cup. I'm going to stamp with Distress Oxide Candied Apple one of the stamps from the coordinating coffee stamp set, and then cut out this Something Special Just For You ring with the matching die, and adhere the ring to the cup with some tape runner. I grabbed a simple Merry Christmas stamp from the Holly Bird stamp set, and I'm going to stamp that on the lid with the new color of Distress Oxide ink, Rustic Wilderness. Last but not least, I'm grabbing a tiny tree stamp from the Waffle Flower Classic Holiday Sentiment stamp set and stamping it in the same green, and then fussy cutting it out with some Tim Holtz scissors so I can adhere it right to the center of the ring. For an accent, I added some small enamel dots in between the two sentiments on the ring, just for fun. You can see a standard gift card fits perfectly in the flaps of the insert, and the whole insert slides easily inside the slider exterior piece that I had adhered to the front of a card front. For the next gift card holder, I'm using another die from Waffle Flower, which is the Waffle Flower Mailbox Die. As you can see, the die set comes with one large die, which cuts the mailbox, and a bunch of accessories like a mailbox flag and mini envelopes to put inside. I'm going to use the Lawn Fawn metallic silver cardstock to cut out the mailbox, so I've cut the metallic paper that is 8.5 by 11 in half so that I can run it through my die cut machine. I love the way the die cuts the envelope out on one piece and the little embossed details on the mailbox. All you have to do is fold at the score lines to fold up the die cut into the mailbox envelope. And then the door of the mailbox has a small tab which can be used to keep it closed. I'm going to use some other Waffle Flower pattern papers to cut out the wax seal, heart, and mini envelopes. I love that the envelopes can be cut on both sides. So there's the side with the flap and then the side with the address and the stamp. The only adhesive needed for the mailbox itself is on the scored flap. I'm putting the gift card inside first so you can see that there are two half circle flaps on the inside to hold the gift card in place, but it's just as easy to add the gift card after assembly. Just press from the back on the flap to lift it up while sliding the gift card inside. To complete the rest of the card, I'm adding a 4 by 5.25 piece of pattern paper on top of an A2 piece of red glitter cardstock from the Memory Box glitter cardstock pad. Then add some tape runner to the back of the mailbox, being sure to avoid those gift card flaps so that the gift card can go in and out easily, and place it on the card. The mailbox with the card inside has some dimension to it, so I'm adding a bit of foam tape to the end of the flag and tape runner on the part that attaches to the mailbox so it is all straight. You can layer the back and front of the envelopes together to make them look real, and I added a few coming out of the mailbox to make it look like it was so full that envelopes were just falling out. I adhered a wax seal die cut to one of the envelopes and the heart to the outside of the mailbox. Then I took another dot pattern paper from the same half dots Christmas pad and stamped a Merry Christmas sentiment on it and cut it out with the classic frames die. I popped it up on foam tape and adhered it to the body of the mailbox. I love how this mailbox is interactive and looks real and holds the gift card all at the same time. This time we're going to create an ornament-shaped card that has the gift card inside using ReverseConfetti dies. Here's the Ornament Star Confetti Cuts die, which comes with the large stitched ornament shape, a scalloped cap shape, and this arc die, which is what cuts the gift card holder. I have an 8.5 by 11 piece of white cardstock in my Scor-Pal, and I'm going to score it in half at 5.5 inches. I'm going to temporarily adhere the die with the ornament top hanging off the fold of the folded cardstock so that it won't cut the piece hanging off of the fold, and run it through my die cut machine. You can see it cuts through the cardstock, even the double layer of cardstock. It only doesn't cut where the die was hanging off, which creates our folded card base. The top of the ornament is a little short now, and I only want white on the inside, so I cut a piece of colorful cardstock in half, and I'm going to cut the full ornament shape with nothing hanging off out of both of those pieces. I used the silver foil cardstock to cut 2 ornament caps and 1 star. Then it's time to cut the gift card holder. I want it inside the card, so I open up the card base and temporarily adhere the gift card die inside the card, leaving enough room for the bottom of the card to get tucked inside. Now, if we just kept the card base like that, the gift card would obviously fall right out. So to create the pocket, we need to apply some tape runner to the back of the card only around the edge of the ornament so that the gift card has plenty of room to slide around in there easily. A Therm O Web tape runner with a swivel head is great for this. Now take one of the blue ornament die cuts and be sure you're adhering the back of that card base to the inside of the ornament die cut so that the stitched elements remain on the outside of that blue piece. To complete the front of the card, add tape runner to the front of the card base and adhere the other ornament blue die cut on top. Then adhere the ornament caps to the front and back of the card and the die cut star on the front. You can see how a gift card or even some cash can sit right inside this pocket on the inside of the card. I added a bow in the ornament topper with some Therm O Web Gina K silver trimmed ribbon. And then last minute, I decided I wanted a little sentiment inside the card. Obviously, this would have been a lot easier if I had stamped it before I had put everything together, but I used a sentiment from the ReverseConfetti Yuletide mice stamp set and a small acrylic block to add a small holiday wishes sentiment under the pocket. And I just love the way this looks. It is so pretty, you could even hang it on a tree. Next, I used the Lawn Fawn small stitched envelope die to create a little envelope on the front of my card to hold my gift card. This Lawn Fawn die set comes with the envelope die, again it's all in one piece, and then a tag and several sentiment dies as well. I temporarily adhered the envelope die to some waffle flower Christmas stripes pattern paper. You can see it cuts and scores all the lines, so all you have to do is fold everything in and add a bit of tape runner to those scored side flaps to create the envelope. I love not having to measure these cuts or score lines myself just use these dies to make it a lot easier. You can see this envelope perfectly fits a standard gift card right inside. To keep the envelope flap closed, I'm using a die cut glitter heart with some tape runner on it. To complete the rest of the card, I layered some pattern paper over memory box foil paper and placed tape runner on the back of the gift card envelope to adhere it right to the card front. I die cut the tag from the die set out of Waffle Flower Christmas Dots pattern paper, and I used a My Favorite Things Merry and Bright stamp set in black Gina K amalgam ink on top. I added some foam tape to the back of the tag and popped it up on the top of the card, and added a few more glitter hearts with coordinating glitter outlines to accent the card. Super simple, but I really love the way that this one turned out. It has such a great impact in such a simple card. For this card, I added a lift the flap option on the front of the card to hide the gift card inside. This Lift the Flap die set from Fawn comes with 3 dies that cut and embellish with stitches on 3 sides and score on 1 side. I cut the Lift the Flap die from a piece of waffle flower pattern paper that was trimmed down to 4 by 5 1/4 so that I could layer it over an A2 piece of memory box glitter cardstock. Just remember when you're adhering the Lift the Flap panel not to get any adhesive on the flap itself, otherwise there'll be no lifting of the flap. Tape runner is probably the easiest here so you don't get any stray adhesive smooshing out onto the flap area. You can see that a gift card fits perfectly inside. I just added several lines of tape runner on the back of the card to keep it in place, but you could use a glue dot as well. To complete the card, I used the same My Favorite Things Merry and Bright stamp that I used in the last card, and I stamped it on some more Christmas dots pattern paper. This time I used Tumble Glass Distress Oxide ink to stamp the sentiment to match the blue in the striped paper of the flap. And this time I die cut the tag, which came from the small stitched envelope die set that we used in the last card, after stamping it by temporarily adhering the die on top of the stamping. I added some foam tape behind the tag and popped it up right on top of the flap. I added some white enamel dots in a row to complete this card. And the great thing about that tag that we added on top of the flap is it kind of weighs down the flap to keep it down. Which was your favorite gift card holder? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that bell so you can be notified every time I have a new video available. As always, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon.